Hello everyone and welcome to the new video. Today I want to give you one small piece of advice that will be suitable for a certain rank to move to the next level. If anyone doesn't know, my first rank was just a bronze, but right now I'm in Immortal 3 with 300 elo. If the video turns out to be useful for you, do not forget to rate it with a like and leave a comment. Well, let's get started. If you have been calibrated for iron, which is actually a rarity, then you have just started playing shooters. Perhaps Valorant turned out to be the first such game for you at all. At such an early stage, I can only advise you to play and get used to pressing the buttons correctly, learn what the skills of different agents do and not confuse them with each other. Having received bronze, you have moved to a new level for the first time, which means there is a desire to continue developing in this game. Personally, I ended up on bronze because I had a PC that gave me from 30 to 70 FPS and I also played with ping 130, which was not very pleasant. And it means if you have such problems, the sooner you deal with them, the easier it will be to move on. But if you discard these details, I advise you to start studying the geometry of maps more. You need to understand how you should pick, how you should take different positions, where you need to place your crosshair and such things. On silver you'll want to get better and better, but it is not clear where to get information from. Here I advise you to start watching all sorts of guides as much as possible. By the way, I have a lot on my channel. As well, I recommend you to watch professional games with the participation of esports players or watch streams of some individual pro players if you like someone's certain style. Something is already beginning to clear up on gold. You're starting to like the game more and more, and yes, this is quite a good moment to choose your main agent, plus at least one additional agent in case someone took your main. Start watching and studying it as much as possible, so that, for example, by taking a jet and playing against an opponent's jet, you know more about all sorts of tricks and features that will help you win duels and take rounds. Study all the layout. For example, if you play as an Sova or agents with Molotovs, learn how to throw them on a spike, remember all of this. If you don't need a spread on your agent, for example on a bridge, pump the understanding itself. Perhaps at some point you throw the flash drive too early or too late. The outcome of the round may very much depend on all sorts of little things. Ideally, to do this, record your games and then review them to understand where you ended up wrong. Next, the moment of transition from platinum to diamond. This is the rank at which you can already be on the leaderboard. And many players really lack a moral component. After losing the first 5 rounds, they immediately give up and no longer even try to win. Or having lost an offensive clash, the same thing happens. There may still be weak teammates, but if you start whining at them, in the end you don't play better than them. Believe me, it is being tested on myself. So score on everything that does not depend on you and watch only your game. On platinum, try to pump your moral to the maximum, never give up. Me, as a person who has gone through all of these, through decisions and falls, I understand everything. I still remember my mistakes in some kind of rounds, because of which we later lost games. But I also understand that if I hadn't committed them, then I wouldn't have been able to play better in many other moments. Don't throw the blame on others, just try to fix the problems in yourself. It was the most difficult for me to switch from diamond to immortal. Yeah, there was no accident at that moment, and at this rank I realized how much communication plays. This is one of the most important things in the game. Giving some basic calls for a round, charging the team with energy, all this is actually much more difficult than it seems. You may even start playing worse from this, but you can win the game like a real team, because this is a team game. If you play for duelists, for example, do not hesitate to conditionally ask for flashbangs for your ideas or some other support from your teammates. Communication is very important if you want to rank up. Askidant is such a buffer zone on which your perseverance and your desire to develop in the game are tested. Try to tilt as little as possible and continue to grind, because in fact not everything is so difficult. Many people just play too little, but we must remember that in Valorant the win rate tends to be 50-55%, so for the whole act you can manage to get just a few titles. But to do this you need to play quite a lot. When all this is there, you begin to understand that it is not enough just to be able to do everything in this game in terms of skill or understanding. To reach the Immortal, you will need to really turn off your shooting. Constant aim training is an integral part of you want to achieve great heights. Although Immortal is not just some kind of super achievement achievement in Valorant, but for ordinary guys who do not want to become esport players, it's already not bad. So you need to train your shooting. Just shoot bots in the evening after the games, run death matches, or you can sit in some aim trainers. Now there are a lot of all kinds of options. You can even watch my full aim guide video. And finally, the Radiant. But how can I talk about the Radiant if I've never seen it myself? It's very simple. I'm 100% sure and I know what I was missing. Firstly, I had literally 7 or 8 games left before the Radiant, I don't remember exactly. I was in the top 1000 of Europe for sure, so why I'm not Radiant yet? It is simple, I didn't have enough consistency. Radiant is already a pretty serious player, although of course I have some across extremely dumbbells Radiants, but we take an average, normal Radiant. So in order to kick it, you really need some kind of training schedule. You have to give a certain amount of time to play every day, and it's not 1 or 2 hours, it's at least 5 hours or even more. And so you need to win back consistently, because as soon as you stop, you will immediately begin to be rigidly closed. You need to be stable mentally and be consistent in your shooting. Well, the most important advice that applies to all stages is to work hard, always at the start of our training, and it does not matter what it is very difficult for us to start. We spend a lot of time, but we get a little experience. After that comes the stage of significant growth. Literally every day something new is learned and you become better and better at your business. Then there comes a stage of slowing down progress, where we spend so much effort and it would seem that there is still no progress. In fact, it goes just very slowly. That's the last stage that characterizes the receipt of the Radiant when you have been sitting on the Immortal for a long time. It is the same with Iron. Just downloaded the game, it is hard to start, but somewhere at Silver you understand where and what knowledge you need, what you need to do to improve the skill, and everything starts to get much better. So like I said, strive for the best and you will succeed. These are the tips from me in this video. Write in the comments on what rank you are, as well as which of the ones you rejected was the hardest to get, and of course share your tips that help you to do it. Maybe it will be useful for someone else. This video has come to an end. Thank you so much for watching. See you again. Bye bye.